Good morning. We are going to make a color wheel today using watercolor paints. A color wheel is a really useful tool for learning how to mix colors. To get started, I've put down the three primary colors for us: yellow, red, and blue. These are called the primary colors because, for one thing, they cannot be mixed. You have to go out in nature and find the right rock or mineral to create a true yellow, blue, or red. And second, every color on this color wheel is made by mixing two or more of these primary colors. So to get started, we're going to make secondary colors: green, orange, and violet. Secondary colors are what you get when you mix equal parts of two primary colors together. So we're going to start by making a green. We're going to use equal parts yellow and blue to make a true green. I'm mixing in my mixing tray, and I'm grabbing my color and mixing right here. Here's my true green. Next, I'm going to make two more greens. I'm going to make a yellow green and a blue green. These are called tertiaries, and tertiaries are what you get when you add a little bit more of a primary color to a secondary color. So for example, I'm going to make a yellow green by adding more yellow to this green that I've made. So I'm going to take more yellow into my mixing tray to make a yellow green. And then I'm going to make a blue green by adding more blue to my green. So there's my yellow green. And now I'm going to grab more blue on my brush and make a nice blue green. All right. Next, I'm going to make orange. Now, the nice thing about a color wheel is if you forget how to make a color, you can use the color wheel as your guide for mixing. So if I find orange on my color wheel and then look for the two primary colors to either side, that is my formula for mixing a true orange: equal parts yellow and red. So I'm going to find a different spot on my mixing tray, and I'm going to grab some yellow, wash my brush, and then grab some red. Orange is a secondary color, so it's a 50-50 blend. I want to make an orange that is equal parts yellow and red. So here's my orange. And then I can make two tertiary colors. Now that I have this orange mixed, I can make a yellow orange and a red orange. So I will do that for us next. Here's my orange. Now to make yellow orange, I am going to add more yellow to that orange. I think that could use a little bit more yellow. Here we go. That's better. Here's my yellow orange. You'll notice that I am not painting all the way up to the edge with my secondary and tertiary colors. That is very intentional. Watercolor likes to bleed when one area of wet paint touches another area of wet paint. So I don't want this color to mix into this color on my color wheel, so I'm leaving a little space in between so that I don't have those colors run or bleed into each other. Now I'm going to make my red orange by mixing more red into the orange that I've made on my palette. And here it is, a nice red-orange. Last but not least, I am going to mix my violets or purples. So again, to mix violet, I'm going to look for the two primary colors on my color wheel that are on either side. So I have red and blue. So I know that I need red and blue in equal parts to get violet, which is my secondary color. So I'm going to bring some red over to my mixing tray. Wash my brush, and then grab some blue. I'm looking for equal parts. So I have way too much blue on there now. I need to go back for more red now. That's more like it. All right, I've got my violet mixed. And now I'm going to make my tertiaries, red violet and blue violet. Now, there are way more violets than just these three that exist in the world. There are way more oranges, there are way more greens. But if you can learn how to mix all of these secondary and tertiary colors, then you can pretty much create an infinite number of variations of all of these greens and oranges and violets. All right, I'm going to make my red violet by adding a lot more red. And then I'm going to make my blue violet by mixing in more blue. All right. The colors that we mix ourselves are so much more beautiful and, to me, vibrant than the colors, the secondary colors that come in these boxes of watercolor. They tend to be a lot more nuanced. Okay, so here we go. We've got our color wheel now. We've got our three primary colors, yellow, red, and blue. We've got three secondary colors, green, orange, and violet. And then we have all of our tertiary colors. We've got our yellow-green, blue-green, blue-violet, red-violet, red-orange, and yellow-orange. Remember, if you forget how to mix a color, use your color wheel as a guide. If I can't remember how to mix yellow-orange, all I need to do is find it on my color wheel and look at the two colors to either side to figure out how to mix it. I mix yellow and orange, and I get my yellow-orange. If I forget how to mix a secondary color, like green, I find the two primary colors to either side, and that is my key or guide for mixing yellow and blue. Happy painting!